Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you for watching Joe Boo's Day Job. Um, Joe Boo hasn't had time to do much of his day job. It's literally, I've been so busy with so many different things that I literally don't know which side is up. We were at the Hall of Fame, of course, last week. Got back, and I've been working actually on some of the cabinets, and I'm trying to make this, this kitchen more functional than what it had before. So I'm changing up some things a little bit and what I've done is we're actually not going to put a dishwasher in this house. Now, I know a lot of people want a dishwasher and things like that, but as a rental property, the people who were actually here before, they're like, we don't use the dishwasher. Can you put a cabinet in? So we're going to put an oversized double sink in here for maintenance wise, not having a dishwasher. Lord knows I have gone through so many dishwashers at my own personal house. They just don't seem to last. And if they really have to have a dishwasher, well, I'm sorry, I won't have one. But what we're going to do is we're going to give them more cabinet space, and we changed some things up. We had kind of a false soffit that was up in here that was really just kind of raggedy. In fact, I'm actually learning some stuff about the house. You can see the quarter round molding that's up here. What they actually did was, instead of taping off the corners for the drywall, they just put that molding up there. Kind of cheapened the way they're doing stuff. We're actually going to tape and mud that in there before we put up the cabinets. So we took out that soffit so that way we'll end up having taller cabinets to give them more space. And if you've ever had cereal boxes in like a 30-inch cabinet, they don't fit in there really well. So the upper cabinets will have adjustable shelves so you can customize it to what you're doing. You guys have seen in the workshop where we were working on the Lazy Susan cabinet. The way this was laid out before was they had a cabinet that was a blind cabinet that went all the way in here, which was useless because the only way you could get to it was from the sink cabinet. So that space was useless. So we built this cabinet right here, which is a corner cabinet. We'll get a Lazy Susan to go in there. You'll be able to put up, ketchup bottles and cereal boxes and all kinds of stuff in there and have it usable. We then actually put a 24-inch cabinet here. Before this had two 24-inch cabinets. So we shortened this up a little bit, which is actually kicking the refrigerator down some, which is actually a reason to that because it gives us a little more space for this door to open up so it's not crammed in there. What we're also doing is, because we got rid of the dishwasher and using that other cabinet, it kicks the sink over a little bit. We have the stove, which used to be on the end by itself. Don't like having the stove on the end. Somebody comes through there, there's a hot pot, something like that. You don't want people to burn. So we're going to actually slide that tight to the sink, and we're going to put a 15-inch cabinet here. So we'll have a 15-inch cabinet up here on the top. Width-wise, we'll have a 30-inch cabinet with a microwave, which will exhaust through the roof. We'll have a 30-inch cabinet over the sink. We'll have another long 15-inch cabinet, a corner cabinet, a 36-inch cabinet, and then we'll make a deep cabinet over the refrigerator so that way it's more usable. And here's what else we've done. Before there were no cabinets here. This is just like a bar that was already, in place, which is good. You can put some bar stools in there. It's really not enough space to put a kitchen table here in the kitchen. So we're going to put a base cabinet here, and we're going to take the countertop. I'm just going to kind of, 45 degree the edges around here. So this way, when you come in the side door, you can kind of use this as a staging area. You can set stuff there, go ahead and put it in the refrigerator or put it on the cabinet. And when you're working and cooking, you now have your work triangle, so to speak. You've got your refrigerator, which will be close enough at hand that you can go into the fridge, pull out something, set it on the countertop. You can go here, of course, to the sink if you need to rinse it off, and then you can go right there on the stove. So function-wise, this will be a much better function kitchen. And having this other cabinet over here is good because then you can set up stuff here. Let's say you are entertaining somebody. You can use this as the prep area or staging area, and you can put food and things up on top of here, and they can have bar stools there. Or as you're working, you can end up having a mixer over here, and you can be part of the conversation. The kids are over there on the couch working on their schoolwork, or you have the TV mounted over on the sidewall. You can still be part of the conversation and still be part of it. And this is a great thing about having an open concept for a home. And of course, you've got the view outside. You can look out and see the trees and everything else. So today it's Sunday, And unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, I've got so much stuff that's going on in my workshop. We ended up saying, I need to get these out of here so that way I have more space to build the upper cabinets and work with. So you can see how that's coming together. Now, I know what you're thinking. The trendy colors right now, of course, are painting your cabinets blue and gray and all that stuff. I'm going to kind of stay away from the trendy colors because you remember a few years ago, whitewash was in. Yeah, whitewash was in. And then for a while, just white cabinets. I'm going through because this is a rental property. You can see the plywood here is actually a pre-finished plywood. And this is a true plywood that is actually going to be able to hold up the test of time. My face fronts and my doors are all solid oak, which are things that I can sand out later on if I want to refinish them. But they will last and be able to take a lot of abuse. And that's the key thing when you're doing rental properties is you want to make sure you have something that's going to last and hold up, because there's nothing worse than getting the callbacks because the cabinets are messed up, especially because a lot of times you get tenants who don't always let you know that there's a problem. And at least using this plywood like this that is already sealed up, that's also true plywood, if there is a leak in things in the cabinet, as opposed to cabinets you buy from Home Depot, which are particle board in the body, this will hold up. It'll get discolored, but it won't destroy itself. And when you start thinking about if your sink cabinet gets messed up, the bottom of it literally drops out of it. Then you're talking about having to take up the countertop and having to replace the cabinet, and does the cabinet match the other ones? This way, it'll help me to keep from having to do more work later. Does it cost more to start out right now? Yes, it does. But ideally, you want to do something that's going to hold up for as long as possible. So that's where we are, as well as we've also gone through, and you can see, turn the lights on. You can see we've already put the carpet in, and for the carpet, we spent a little bit more money on the carpet padding. Carpet padding itself actually has a barrier on there. If you happen to have somebody who has dogs, and this is dogs or cats, this is one of those rough things that you have that sometimes people don't always take good care of the pets. These people ended up basically putting a wall up here and leaving the dogs in here all day, in which case they were defecating on the floor and peeing on the floor, and it literally soaked into the plywood. So we ended up having to do a whole lot of work on there. At least the carpet padding will keep that from hopefully happening. But better off to protect yourself on getting an extra deposit for pets, and being sure what kind of pets that the people have, that they are house trained pets and that they will take care of them. So these are all things that I've had to learn the hard way on and dealing with over the course of the last 15 years of doing rental properties. Getting better at it. And fortunately, I have my wife who's also helping to manage it, because she's actually a lot better at the paperwork and keeping ahead of people and stuff like that. I'm more of the guy that, let me go build some cabinets. Let me go ahead and put down some floor. Let me do that kind of stuff, because that's what I'm really good at. And so we got the walls spackled up now, which is great. And now I'm going to go downstairs and work on getting some more of the laminate floor put in. You can see the laminate flooring that we put in actually looks really, really good in here. We ended up replacing the two windows here because the tenants actually broke it. But all in all, the house is getting into really, really good shape. We'll go through, and we got to touch up the base molding here as well, get new registers for it. But it'll be a great home for somebody. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and yeah, rental properties can be a good investment. For me, being that I do most of the work, it makes it more advantageous than if you have to constantly pay somebody else to do the maintenance on it. But there is a need for good houses for people right now. There's really just not enough good homes, and I like to give people a great place to live. See you guys a little bit later. Peace.